So here's our little Lucy Lou, and I can't get much closer to her because if I do, she'll get up and run. But I wanted to tell you Lucy's story. So Lucy came to us with 3 brothers, and their names were Grayson, Mike, Jack, and Bob. And her brother Bob was actually kind of her twin. He was black and white too. And they were some of the first kitties that we trapped. And the people that we helped said, oh, please, will you take them and will you find them a home? And they weren't kittens, but they weren't a year old yet. And we naively said, all right, we'll take them and we should be able to get them homes. Well, no, because what we found is nobody wants shy kitties that run from you when you approach them. And they had been raised long enough by their feral mama. Her name was Honey. They were raised long enough by her and taught by her to fear humans that we found out, yeah, we're not going to get them adopted. Well, so I should take this back because Bob, Jack, and Grace and Mike aren't here. We had a volunteer who had a real soft spot in her heart for scared kitties. And she actually took all 3 brothers. And she also took Juniper's brother, Clover. So she took 4 male cats. Juniper is related to Lucy Lou, but she's from the next litter that this Honey had. And Juniper and Clover, they're twins. Clover got adopted. Juniper stayed here. Now, we finally caught Honey. She was a hard one to catch, and we got her fixed. But Lucy Lou and Juniper are very bonded as sisters. Now, when we first had Lucy, and she was real small, she was so bonded with her brother Bob. In fact, I'll show you pictures of the 2 of them together. But as Lucy Lou got bigger, she started to gravitate towards Juniper more. And in fact, once we brought Juniper in, Lucy Lou stopped cuddling with her brother as much and started cuddling with Juniper. And so even though when she was quite little, when she first got here, she was attached to her brother, she kind of switched, and that will happen quite a bit. So that's Lucy's story. I bet you she was about, look at her just stare at me. She's like, you come one step closer, I'm out of here. She won't bite me. I do have to get her sometimes to give her vaccines or medicines. I have to trap her. It's very traumatic because she gets so scared. Oh, and she cries. She cries and cries. She won't bite me. She'll just cower. And it takes a really long time if they're raised by a feral mom to get them to understand that they're safe with humans. And I have patience with it. I understand it. She's very happy here. She just, humans still make her nervous. But I watch all of these kitties on our cameras when I leave. Like we have a camera right there, for example. And I can see their tails go up into that happy position. I can see them running and playing. And if we ever have a cat here that I think is just miserable, we don't keep them for life. Taylor looks miserable every time I have her on camera, but I watch her and she's very happy when she thinks she's all alone. So that's Lucy Lou and her story. Hi. Say, oh no, don't you come any closer. I love her little mustache. Lucy Lou. You're so sweet. Yeah, maybe one day you'll realize. We tried to work with them while they were younger because sometimes you can flip them, We tried to touch them. Like when we had them, we kept them in a cage. We always keep kitties in a cage at first. And we touched them and tried to pick them up. And she would just cower. And she still does. But my gray baby, who's a cat that has since passed, who is the one that started the colony around this area, it took him 8 years before he'd let a human touch him. So feral cats just, in order to survive, they grew up thinking, stay away from humans. So I have patience, empathy all the time in the world, and I'll tell you what, there is nothing that feels better than when one of these really shy cats comes up to you. Sometimes I just sit very quietly and she'll come very close to me, and it's the best feeling. And one day she might let me pet her with taking off and running. So this is our little Lucy Lou.